Hey everyone, I'm Kel, and welcome to another Force of Will video. Today we're doing a Alice Origin 3 double deck in the box video. You might be asking yourself, Kel, what is a deck in the box video? Well, a deck in the box video is a video where I open up these two boxes and I build the best deck I can from just the cards inside. Think of this as something very useful to a new player just picking this up, just buying these two boxes, or just a really fun deck building challenge. Before we get started, I do want to give a shout out to Happy Little Hug Factory. Those folks are awesome. They support Force of Will content creators like yours truly. They sent me these boxes to make this video, and without their support, it would be a much tougher time to make my videos. They also have excellent pricing on Force of Will singles and sealed product like Alice Origin 3, so check out their website. I do have an affiliate link in the description down below. Alice Origin 3, as well as the new Ghost in the Shell set, and other random Force of Will stuff like older booster boxes, singles, and all that kind of stuff. Definitely check them out, they're very awesome. But without further ado, let's get started opening these up. And let's go with this one here. For the Alice Origin 3 in particular, got my little box cutter, my +1 box cutter. We are going to use the ruler that comes in the box. Hopefully they're both not the same. I have a feeling they both might be Rezard, but we'll see. Because if you watch my quad box opening, I got 2 Arla and 2 Reflect Refrain. Well, one of them definitely is Rezard. That's sweet because he's my favorite one of the new set. But for, you know, box opening, you know, deck building purposes, hopefully they're different. And hopefully when you open up yours, you get some different ones too, especially if you're a new player. We're going to go over the cards pretty quickly, but not too quickly. Gloria's Roundtable probably will not make it into our deck. This is definitely a Alice Origin 1 support card. There's a lot of cards like that, just like support cards for other rulers here. Same like with Antonite, though you can probably put it in any deck. The End of Friendship could be a pretty good card for our deck. Spiral of Potential and Convergence, really good for the Reflect Refrain deck. Ooh, Priscia, Pursuant of Exploding Flame. Yeah, could make the cut. Celestial Wing Seraph is definitely a Windmill Slam for Arla. And then we have a Darkness Magic Stone, a token, and then our first rare is an RR card, Micelle Clairvoyant Guide. And by RR, I mean Reflect Refrain. Very interesting card for the Spells Matter RR style deck. Ooh, foil rare. This is Apollon, the God of Light. Very cool card. These cards, though, don't really synergize with our Rezard ruler, though. So hopefully we start getting some sweet Rezard cards soon. We got the Soulless Soldier. Like I said, I'm not going to go over all these, otherwise this video is going to be very long, but Soul Hunt, I think, is going to make the cut. We have a Magna's Angel, or Magna's Angel. Pretty good for your Arla deck. This one, the Censored Butt Angel, this is more for the one of the other decks for the other clusters. Wounded Black Dragon. I said that poorly. Not one of the decks of the other clusters. This is better for one of the Alice Origin rulers. Alice Origin 1 rulers in particular. Same with the Wounded Black Dragon. There's a lot of support here, like I said, for other rulers and other sets. Like this guy. Probably not going to make the cut. And the Wounded Black Dragon. So yeah, our deck has a lot of different options of where to go right now. We're gonna keep things open, you know? Gonna keep it open. Might have some different you know, avenues ahead of us. The cards in this set I've noticed like to stick together. Angel of Healing, very cute angel. This Knight dude, Magic Stone, Hearth's Core. Any of these dual stones are actually going to be very good for us for deck building construction. Ooh, here we go. We got a Rezard card. Mikage Seijiro's Game of Dreams. Very nice card. It's a pretty interesting one. Basically swaps all the Resonators on the field for all the Resonators in the graveyards. Not just for you, for your opponent too, so gotta be pretty careful. Got Vampire Staff, got some Reflect Refrain stuff, Rena, got this One Piece Angel. I'm not talking about the anime. We have an Artemis, the Goddess of Hunt. This is a super rare. Yeah, super rare Arla card. Let's put super rares up here, and then just kind of the foils right there. This is a foil Fallen Angel Lucifer. Could make it into our deck, but it's a pretty good one for the Arla deck, to be honest. And we have Vampire Staff, Moan of the Dead. Ooh, really nice card. Fauricia's Journey. Really sweet one. We could do like a tricolor deck here. I think it's definitely possible that we do a wind, light, and darkness. Got the Sacred Beast of Artemis. I've gotten so many of this guy. He's the most common super rare in my opinion, at least that I've seen. You know, maybe it's just my luck, but I think that's like my 6th or 7th one. Like not even joking. And some super rares I've only gotten one of. I know it's just all RNG and it's all luck, but at some point you're like, come on, give me a break. Give me a break. We have a Heavenly Flash, or no, Earthly Flash. The opposite of a Heavenly Flash, followed by a full art Percival. I mean, Percival could make either deck, to be honest, but definitely better in an Arla deck because it does search out those flying resonators. I mean, we could just straight up do like a Arla style deck with Rezard as the headliner. And right now we're skipping some cards. They just keep sticking together, man. Keep sticking together. We have Pier. Pier's really good super rare. For Arla, we have a foil full art black wizard. Well, it's not technically full art. I mean, it kind of like goes through the frame here, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. And let's keep going through here. Hopefully we get enough strangers to actually make a competent stranger deck. Man, the cards just really stick together. Yo, Griffin. We definitely want Griffins. That's one card we're definitely at. I think I see Rhea's Umbrella here, and I am pogged up. I'm so stoked for that. We have a Mikage Seijiro's Game of Darkness, or Game of Dreams. And then Rhea. Yeah, Mikage, Rhea. Super stoked to get that card. Very, very happy. We're trying to make it happen. Try to make it happen. It's not quite as good if we don't get the one that lets you Residue. We need the Residue card. It's a super rare. That's a pretty good one too. Blood of Mikage. But we need to get it. We need to get the Residue card. Residue card? Scheherazad's Heroic Epic. Pretty cool card, in my opinion. And then another Earthly Flash that is a foil version of that one. And by Residue, I'm not saying residue. I'm saying it's a card that lets us return a Resonator from our graveyard. Dude, I think I see another Rhea here. Graveyard to the battlefield. Bring a dude back to life. Res a dude. Morgiana, really good card. Probably gonna make the deck. Like, to be honest. Morning Angel. We have Rhea. Yeah, nice. And then a Niflheim. Okay. We got 2 Rheas. I think we could definitely make a Mikage deck here. Or not Mikage, but a Rezard deck. We got some Angels. We need some... not Angels. Rhea. I guess you could say Rhea is Angel, but we got some Rhea. We definitely need the Faurecia. God, I say her name wrong all the time. We need her. Ooh. Yeah, Awakening of the Undead Lord. Get in our deck. Grave Robbers. Nice. So now we're on the Rezard train. Could still change, you know, especially depending on what ruler we get in the other box. But Arla and Rezard are definitely standing out so far. Yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of like good Arla support here. We can even do, like I said, like a tricolor deck. See if we can splash some of that light. And what do we got for the rare? Nah, this is just the Charlotte card. Really good card, but not going to do much for us now. Ooh, foil full art Sigurd. Definitely get into our deck. He's an 800 2-drop. Pretty sweet. He looks kind of like Peter Steele from Typo Negative. Play this card only from your graveyard. Zombies you control gain Bane. Enter, search for a Darkness edition with 2 or less. Put it into the field. We'll have to be on the lookout for a Darkness edition 2 or less in this particular set. I don't know if one exists. I mean, there's Niflheim, I think. Yeah, I mean, we just pulled a foil one. Beautiful Magnus Angel, by the way. Absolutely beautiful card. We have a... Oh, dude, it is in the set. I opened up 4 boxes and didn't get a single one of these. I'm not complaining because I don't really need more of these, but I was like, I don't even know if it's in the set. I've got so many of the cards. Never seen Augusting Skies. Just not at all. I do really like, by the way, that there's a lot of support in here for other rulers in past sets. I think it makes those decks stay fresh, and it also makes it so that, you know, you kind of want to buy this set, and it's more useful than just the rulers inside. Oh, there we go. Faurecia, the Virtuous Vampire. And then a little birdie action there. Nice. Definitely gonna need more of those if we're gonna make our deck pop off. More the better, honestly. I mean, up to a certain point, you know, you want 4, but I'll take it. I'll take what we can get. You know, that's where we're at now. Take what we can get. Oh, we got the Wings of the Archangel. This is the super rare Regalia for Arla, followed by a Necromancy of the Undead Lord. Also, we need the Regalia. We need Rezard's Regalia. What am I talking about, dude? We need Rezard's Regalia like real bad. Ataraxia's Memoria. It's a slam dunk into our deck. Arthur's actually quite good too. I can see Arthur making the cut as well. We have a Laurier. Yeah, nice. That could also make the deck. I think it's really good. And then a full art Scheherazad's Heroic Epic. I really like that card in general. I talked a lot about it in my first AO3 box opening video, the quad box. I think this card's really cool, and I think it can make its own style of deck. I don't know how good that style of deck is going to be. Definitely want to get as much of these as possible, by the way. But I think it could be really fun, because it lets you put a stranger at random directly into play, and you can get some big strangers. Got this Jabberwock rare with his giant wall of text, followed... Okay, there we go. That's where we're at. Gonna need more Death Scythe, please. Gotta have more Death Scythe. And yeah, that's a reference to the Christopher Walken, gotta have more cowbell, but it's a Death Scythe instead of the cowbell. This is the ugliest creature I've ever seen in my entire life. That is the Fatal Frame enemy. Oh my god, dude, it's so hard. The cards are just kind of sticky. They're not sticky, they're just kind of coarse. Another Morgiana, probably gonna make the cut. Is this another... Okay, no. I thought it was another Rhea. No, this is Between Passion and Calmness. This is a super rare for Reflect Refrain. I think it's pretty good. And a normal for Reflect Refrain. Doesn't look like we're going to do Reflect Refrain. Doesn't look like we're going into an RR perspective. Definitely Rezard, Arla. I mean, if we got Arla instead of Rezard as our ruler, like right off the top of the pack, then we'd definitely be going towards Arla here. But the fact that we already have a Rezard... Is this another... Okay, no. I saw the fan, like the coloring right there, and I was like, is this another Rhea? Look, it says Acel, the White Eagle, really good for Arla. Okay, there we go. A part of true power. Everything that I'm asking for is coming true. This is a full art super rare, absolutely amazing card. Beautiful artwork too, but this is what we want to do. We want to get our Rhea onto the field, and it's a 400/400 for 1, which is amazing. Quick cast and flying. Enter, search your deck for a Darkness Resonator, put it into your graveyard, and shuffle your deck. We're going to search for the Griffin, and then it says, whenever this card is banished as an additional cost of a Mage Art, or by an effect of a Mage Art, put this card from your graveyard into your hand. And then this says, Remnant, as an additional cost to play this card, banish a Resonator. No, we're going to banish our Rhea here. Put a Darkness Resonator from your graveyard into the battlefield. We're going to put the Griffin in, and then Rhea is going to come back to her hand because we banished her. This is a really good combo. I'm really excited to do that. And to build a deck around that, because that's the kind of deck that I want to build in Constructed, and I love these style of decks. Is that one of the first ones we've seen? Priestess of the Black City. Interesting. Ooh, another Pharrekia's Journey. Very nice. Oh, there's that Griffin. He's only at 1200 with flying, and when he enters, put the top 2 cards of your stone deck into the field. Just ramps you. Just insane card. Absolutely insane card. We have a Michael the Archangel Stranger, and the final foil is this blue Illusionary Jabronskis. All right, so we're going to kind of tidy this up slightly. Maybe not too slightly. And then we're going to open up the next box and see where we're going to go from here. All right, so I've cleaned this up a little bit. Let's get into the second box and see if we can pull some other excellent Rezard stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Well, first of all, let's get the plastic off. Let's see what our final... Oh, it's Arla. So we could do Arla. We're probably going to stick with Rezard, but Arla is pretty cool. We'll set Arla down here. I've already took Rezard out and added him to the pile here. I want to note that all of our full art super rares from that last box were actually Rezard cards. We got Rhea, Death Scythe, and a part of True Power, which I think I should definitely mention because I think it's definitely worth noting. We have Priestess of the Black City, definitely going to go into the deck. Moan of the Dead, also another one to go in the deck. And Pharicia's Journey. In fact, a lot of the cards in this pack, I think, will go into our deck. So not too shabadoo. Oh, and Mikage. There we go. Mikage Seijiro. Nice. And we have a Will of the Wisp full art rare. We'll put that down here. And Mikage will kind of go up there and grace the top of Olivia's head there. Yeah, pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. I think we can do just a straight up Darkness and Wind style Rezard deck. I think that's where we want to go here. I could see arguments for Arla, but Darkness and Wind, I think, is where it's at. So we have this Ushua the Flame Samurai. Oh, dude, full art Pier. Really sweet card. Well, maybe the tides have turned. Maybe we're going to do Arla now. Probably not. Honestly, probably not. I'm still really hyped up for well, I mean, Pharicia's Journey is a Wind card, you know. Put it in the Wind deck. Knight of Sigurd would make it into the Rezard deck, in my opinion. We have a Charlotte, and then a foil Acel. Pretty good, actually. Not too bad at all. We definitely want more of those super rares that we saw last time. You know, we want more Reyes. Definitely want more. Ooh, I mean, Windmill Slam, obviously. This card that I've been calling Fatal Frame, because it looks like a ghost from Fatal Frame, is pretty good. You gotta blow up any Resonator. The controller gains 1,000 life. But then if you did the Awakening, you get a Stranger into your hand, which isn't too bad. Though for the Rezard deck, we want the Strangers in our graveyard. We have Between Passion and Calmness, super rare, and then a foil full art Gloria's Round Table. Just a normal card. Every time I see that card, I'm like, I can't believe it is a normal card, because it looks like a really sweet one. We have Necromancy of the Undead Lord. I don't think that will make it into the deck. Blood of the Mikage. I don't think that'll make it into either. It's not really synergistic with what we're trying to do. It just like pumps up a dude. We don't really care about just the pumping of dudes. We got Frigg, Goddess of Abundance. Pretty sweet card. And then a foil Give Wings. Nice. It looks really nice on the full art there. Did I call Frigg a full art? No, she's a super rare. Frigg is a super rare and a good one at that too. It'll definitely make it into our deck. I think the most strapped we're gonna be is for the Stranger deck. In all honesty, we have the Last Secret Sword. Really cool card. Probably not gonna make the cut. And a very cool looking Resistance of the 12 Protective Deities of Lapis here. Very sweet card. Definitely not what we're gonna do. We're not doing a 12 Protective Deities style deck. That is for other sets. That's for your Goddess deck. I forget the name of the ruler. Maybe it says it down here. Lenneth. It's freaking Lenneth. I can't believe I forgot Lenneth. Okay, so we got another Griffin. Definitely want all the Griffins we can get. That's our #1 reanimation target. We have another Pier. Wow. And then a Spirit of Passion. Beautiful card. Pier, dude. I mean, Arla's looking pretty good. We still got everything, though, for the Mikage. Another Ataractes Memoria. I think that makes 4 of them for this one. I think at this point we can probably skip through like the commons, because I think you basically get... Oh, dude, okay. I'm back on the Rezard train. Back on the Rezard train. Beautiful. Beautiful card. I think you get basically 2 of all the normals in a box. And all the other boxes that I've opened up, and I've opened up 5 at this point, you basically get 2 per box. So we're just going to assume we're going to end up with a full playset of all the normals. Speaking of which, part of True Power. Windmill Slam that into our Rezard deck. This will also make the Rezard deck too. The Soulless Soldier. When it enters, you get a mill 2, and we definitely want to mill cards. Put those sweet Resonators into our graveyard so we can res them. So yeah, another Griffin there. We have another Will o' the Wisp, followed by a full art Butterfly Effect. That one is one of the Reflect Refrain cards. Oddly enough, out of the 4 other boxes that I got, I only got one of those. It was one of the rarer ones for me. We have a Magic Stone of Gusting Skies. Not the one we're looking for. Ooh, beautiful Magnus Angel. Yeah, not looking for the the Gusting Skies for this deck. We could still potentially splash, but I don't think that's our game plan here. We have a super rare Awakening of the Wing Lord. Pretty good for the Arla deck. Heavenly Garden of Armala. It's hard to read it through the camera. It looks like Heavenly Gates or something. And I'm like, that's not Gates. I know the artwork on that, and it's not Gates. We have a Butterfly Effect, followed by, dude, foil Mikage Seijiro. I'm still on the Rezard train. Would not blame you at all if you wanted to go with Arla here, because I think Arla could be sweet, especially since we just pulled another freaking Stone of Gusting Skies. We have a Game of Dreams. Really cool. Definitely want that, because we want to mill our whole deck and then just like flip it over. Basically, put the graveyard into the field, put the field into the graveyard, kind of screw with our opponent because they're going to be massing up stuff. This is a super rare. This is the blue illusionary dragon of calmness, followed by a beautiful celestial wing angel. Very nice. Very nice. Probably not going to run in the deck though. I was thinking about doing tricolor, splashing the light, but I think we have enough stuff here just to go dual color, especially if we keep pulling stuff like Sigurd, the Covenant King. Oh, dude, that is an absolutely stunning Faricia's Journey. I'm gonna go with Faricia now. I don't know why. That's what I'm gonna go with now. So Sigurd, get over there. I think we have the makings of a pretty cool deck. If these were your boxes that you're opening, I think you could end up with something pretty sweet here. We have an Ares, followed by, oh, dude, foil Wings of the Archangel. Man, that is very nice looking. It's just a regular rare, right? We could still use another Death Scythe, though. We still only have one Death Scythe. That could be a problem. We have Artemis, and then Death Scythe. Ooh, nice. Priestess of the Black City. That'll probably make the cut, too. All right, we've got, like, what, a couple more packs here? It's getting down to the wire. Definitely need Death Scythe. Definitely need another Rhea. That'd be sweet. Haven't had any Rheas in this box at all. So we have a Milcel and then a foil Archangel. Or rather, Awakening of the Winged Lord. So yeah, the other box got all super rares, like foil super rares for Rezard. This one is all for Arla here. So this is the last pack. We have a Laurier. Nice, nice. And then Alice's Castellane. Cool card, but it's not going to make the cut, unfortunately. So yeah, that is our setup here. You could really go either way. You could really go with Arla. Let's open up Arla here. Or you can go with Rezard. I think I want to go with Rezard because I think the deck really speaks to me more. Arla is really cool looking, though. Yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you're going to do Arla, but I'm definitely going to go for Rezard here. So let's make the deck, and I'll kind of show you what I got. All right, so this is our deck. It's probably about 8 cards over, and I still need to cut a couple cards, but I couldn't decide, and I figured, you know what, let's just go on with it. You can make the decision on what cards that we need to cut. I think there's a couple in contention, but I think it's pretty close. Anyway, let's start talking about the deck. First up, we have Rezard, our ruler and J-rule. He has the Stranger 10 mechanic. He has a Judgment of a Wind and a Darkness, Energize of a Wind and a Darkness, and he says, whenever a Darkness Regalia enters the field under your control, choose 1. If it was Death Scythe, choose 2. You can choose 2 strangers at random from your stranger deck and put them into your graveyard, or each player banishes a Resonator or put target Resonator from your graveyard into your hand, or you may pay 0 to do Judgment until end of turn. So you can mill 2 strangers into your graveyard, you can have everyone banish a Resonator, or you can bring a dude back from your graveyard into your hand, or you can just do a free J-Activate. On this side, he's a 1,000, 7 Kings Vampire. He says, enter, put the top 4 cards of your deck into your graveyard. You may put a Resonator from your graveyard into the field. If you do, it gains Darkness in addition to its other attributes, and Vampire in addition to its other races. And he also has a God's Art, Blood Revolution for a Darkness and a Wind for each Vampire you control, and starting from the one with the highest attack to the one with the lowest attack, target a Resonator your opponent controls. Vampires you control gain +400 until end of turn. Then each of them deals damage equal to its attack to its chosen target. You may choose the same target multiple times with different vampires. So basically, he makes your vampires machine gun down your opponent's dudes. Not too bad. We're not running a whole lot of vampires in the deck. We're really leaning into that reanimation strategy. Stone deck is pretty simple. We are running 4 Ataractes Memoria. We're running 3 Darkness Magic Stones, and then instead of the Wind Magic Stones, we are running the Magic Stone of Gusting Skies because we are splashing a little bit of light. We're splashing the light only in the Stranger deck because we did not pull enough Wind and Darkness Strangers to make a complete Stranger deck. Speaking of which, let's start off with Frigg, Goddess of Abundance Stranger. Frigg is a 1000/1000 for double Wind and 1 of any Resonator Stranger Goddess. Automatic abilities of Goddess Resonators you control trigger an additional time. Enter is an automatic ability, and it has Enter, recover a Magic Stone you control. So when you play it, you're going to recover 2 Magic Stones. Doesn't really synergize with this deck, but we just put it in here because we needed to fill up some slots. But it's not too bad. Next up, we have a single Jabberwock. Jabberwock is very confusing and very long. Well, it's not that confusing. It's just a giant wall of text. He's an 800/800 for 1 Darkness, 1 Wind, 1 of any. It's a magical beast, Resonator Stranger. And it says, enter, choose one. Your opponent reveals the top card of their deck. They reveal their hand and discard all cards with the same total cost as a revealed card. Or your opponent reveals the top card of the deck. They destroy all non-Magic Stone, non-J-Rule entities they control with the same cost as a revealed card. Or your opponent reveals the top card of their deck. Each player reveals their hand and discards all cards with the same cost as a revealed card. And then each player destroys all things with the same cost. It's basically the same thing. They reveal the top card of their deck. They either pitch all the cards in their hand with the same cost, or they destroy all the cards on their field with the same cost, or you can do both. But if you do both players have to do it. Yeah, weird card. Next up is Laurier. We are running 2 of her because she's awesome. And we also got 2 of her. 400/400 Resonator Witch. Enter, remove a Resonator from the game, and then it gains +X +Y, and all abilities of the Resonator removed, where X is the attack and Y is the defense. So basically she absorbs a Resonator, which is super cool. I like this card a lot. Then we have the Black Wizard, a must for Rezard, an absolute must. 600/600 for a single black Stranger Wizard with Bane, and it has a 0 cost ability. It says 0, produce 1 darkness. Play this ability only during your turn, only once per turn, and only if this is in your graveyard. So we definitely want to put this into our graveyard. We are running 2 of them because it is excellent. Next up, we have some of the filler ones that we had to splash for with Artemis, the Goddess of the Hunt. It's a 1000/1000 for double Wind and double Light. The double Light's pretty hard to play, honestly. Swiftness, First Strike, and then a bunch of abilities. For a Light, you can give an entity barrier. For a Light and a Wind, Resonators you control gain +200/+200 until end of turn. And then for double Light and a Wind, remove a Resonator from the game. This card's actually really good. It's kind of like iffy in our deck because we don't have a whole lot of light, but still quite powerful. Next up, we have Will-O-the-Wisp. This one's pretty simple. It's just a 0/1000 for a Wind and a Light. It is a Resonator Stranger Spirit. Quick cast, barrier, enter, draw a card, and 0, return it to your hand. So you can kind of just keep bringing it back to your hand and drawing cards, and not too bad. The single Light isn't too bad for us to play. The double Light from Apollyon is kind of hard, but this guy is a house, and if we can get him into the graveyard and then reanimate him, it's pretty good. He's a 1400/1700 for 2 of any double Light. He's a Resonator Deity with Pierce. If damage would be dealt to you, it's dealt to this card instead, so he absorbs like 1700 damage. When this card is put into the graveyard from the field, remove it from the game. If you do, your life total becomes 4000. This dude's nuts. It's actually nuts. We are running the only Death Scythe we got. It's a Regalia with Mythic, like all the Regalias have. For a Darkness and a Wind, you can rest it to produce 2 wills and any combination of Wind and or Darkness, and you can only use that to play God's Art, Mage Arts, and cards from a graveyard, or activate abilities from cards in a graveyard. And then you can remove 3 cards in your graveyard from the game, and then put this card from your graveyard into your hand. So you can kind of like recur Death Scythe. It's actually quite good. It's like really good. Next up, we have our 2 Pharesias, the Virtuous Vampire. 600/600, 5 Heroes Vampire with Flying and Barrier. That's actually nuts. You can discard a Wind card to give a Resonator +400/+400. You can discard a Darkness card to give a Resonator -400/-400. And you can discard a Wind/Darkness and do both of them. Give one 400/400, one -400/-400. And then if you control another 5 heroes not named Pharesia, you may pay 1 Wind or 1 Darkness less to play this. Really good card. And then we have Rhea. We already kind of talked about Rhea. She's amazing. 400/400 for a single Darkness. Quick cast, Flying, Vampire, enter, search your deck for a Darkness card, slam it into your graveyard. Then vampires you control gain Drain, and then whenever this card is banished as a cost for a Mage Art, or from the effect of a Mage Art, put this card from your graveyard into your hand. Fantastic. We would definitely run 4 if we got those. Now we have some cards that just mill our deck, because we definitely want to mill a bunch of cards. The Knight of Sigurd's pretty simple. It's a 400 for 1. When it enters, look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You can put one of them in your graveyard. And then when it dies, you do the same thing. So you can kind of do like selective cards from the top of your deck into your graveyard. And it's just kind of 1 drop. Not too bad. The Soulless Soldier is pretty simple. 500 for double darkness. It's a zombie. And when it enters, put the top 2 into your graveyard. Not too bad. Next up, we have some reanimation type stuff after we've gotten all the stuff into our graveyard with the Priestess of the Black City. She's a 1000 for 2 and a darkness. She's a human. You can pay 1 less to play her for each stranger in your graveyard. That's pretty cool. Definitely want to put strangers into our graveyard. And it says enter until end of turn. You may play a stranger from your graveyard. That's pretty sweet. You still have to pay the costs, but she basically lets us play them from our graveyard, which is really, really good. Next up, we have an integral part of the deck, a part of true power. This is a chant mage art for a darkness and a wind with remnant. As additional cost to play this, banish a resonator. Could be anything, but we want it to be Rhea. And then we put a darkness resonator from your graveyard into the field. And that remnant is really sweet, which means we can play it basically twice, which is really, really good. Next up, we have Mikage Seijiro's Game of Darkness. Chant mage art for double wind, double darkness. Each player puts all resonators from their graveyard into the field. Then each player banishes all resonators not put into the field this way. Really sweet. Basically, you swap graveyard into the field and swap what's in the field into the graveyard. So we want to load up our graveyard and then do a big old swap and have all of our opponent's stuff die and they really get nothing back. And then we get a whole bunch of stuff back. Really sweet. Next up, we run both of the Sigurds that we got. He's an 800 for a darkness and a wind king zombie. Play this only from your graveyard, so you can only play this from your graveyard. This is one of the cards we definitely want to put into the graveyard. Zombies you control gain Bane. He's a zombie, so he gains Bane. And then enter, search your deck for a darkness addition with total cost 2 or less. Put it into the field, then shuffle your deck. Yeah, pretty solid card. There's not a whole lot of good darkness additions with cost 2 or less in this set. So we had to do something, little slim pickings here. The darkness edition that we chose was the Necromancy of the Undead Lord. Very simple card, just a 1-cost addition. When it enters the field, you attach it to a resonator. That attached resonator gains +200, and becomes a zombie. So that's actually pretty good. You play Sigurd, get this from your deck, put this on another resonator, it gets +200, and it also gains Bane, because Sigurd gives all your zombies Bane, and this one turns it into a zombie. Not too bad. And it also says whenever a resonator enters the field under your control, you may add this card from your graveyard to that resonator. So if we accidentally mill this card or we want to mill this card, we can still gain use of it. So it's not a total wash. There are probably better things out there, but this is a decent one for this particular build. Next up is Mikage Seijiro himself. He's a 1200 for triple darkness and a wind. All the resonators following this are going to be ones that we want to reanimate, though we can play him if we need to. He's a vampire, flying with precision. Whenever a resonator dealt damage by this card, this turn is put into a graveyard, put it into the field under your control. It gains darkness in addition to its other types, and it also becomes a vampire. Remove a stranger resonator in your graveyard from the game to give him eternal. We want to be careful with that. We really don't want to remove our cards in the graveyard from the game. We want to make use of them. But if you need to, then you need to. And he also has this really sweet enter ability of enter, you may pay any amount of life. This card deals damage equal to that amount to target resonator your opponent controls. So you can kill one of your opponent's resonators by paying life, and then his first ability would trigger, and then you get to steal it, which is very sweet. I think Mikage is really cool. Next up, we have 2 Fallen Angelic Destroyer Lucifers. Pretty simple card, 900 for double darkness, 2 of any. He's an angel demon with flying. Enter, your opponent banishes a resonator. Then he has another activated ability that requires Moonwill, and we do not have Moonwill. So we're going to ignore that for now. And next up, we have Griffin Racing Across Darkness. This is the one that we really want to reanimate. It's a 1200 for 6. 4 of any, a wind and a darkness. It's a chimera. Flying, enter. Put the top 2 cards of your Magic Stone deck into the field. Really, really sweet ramp card. And it's just a 1200. Very cool. Next is Awakening of the Undead Lord. This is one of the cards I think we could cut, but it's kind of cool and flashy, so you might want to play it. Chant Mage Art with Quick Cast for a darkness and a wind. Choose one. This card deals 400 damage to each resonator, then you gain that much life. Or banish any number of resonators, draw that many cards. Or put a X100 darkness zombie, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. So you can make a big dude, deal some damage to everything, or sack your dudes and then draw some cards. It's pretty good, but it's not the best. Next up, we have a very good card with Fauricia's Journey, a full playset. Chant Mage Art for a single wind. Quick cast, choose one. Target any number of chants. For each spell, its controller may pay 1. If they don't, cancel it. Or you can put a card from your graveyard onto the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. So yeah, you can either cancel some chants, or you can kind of save a card from your graveyard by putting it on the bottom of your deck and then drawing a card. Really, really good. I can see this card being played in a lot of decks. Next up, we have 2, the End of Friendship. This is kind of a costly card, but it's very flavorful. For a Darkness and a Wind, Chant Mage Art, Quick Cast. As additional cost to play it, banish a Resonator. Then your opponent banishes 2 Resonators. Yeah, pretty good, but it is kind of costly. Costs 2 to play and a Resonator, so if you don't have anything on the field, it doesn't really do anything. Next up, we have Soul Hunt. This card's really good in the deck. It's a Chant Mage Art for a single Darkness. Each player banishes a Resonator, then each player discards a card. So if you have like a Griffin in your hand, you can play Soul Hunt to, discard it, and then your opponent also has to discard a card, and then you both banish a Resonator. Pretty good, efficient card for this deck. It does everything we want to do. And then finally, we have Moan of the Dead. This card is really good for this deck. It's a quick cast, Chant Mage Art for a single Darkness. You may banish a Darkness Resonator rather than pay its cost. You don't have to. And then it says, destroy target Resonator if its total cost is less than the number of cards in your graveyard. We want to be milling, so we should have a lot of cards in our graveyard. Then choose a card from your Stranger deck at random and put it into your graveyard, which is also what we want to do. This is like a slam dunk 4 of for every Rezard deck. And that was the video, everyone. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked this sweet Rezard Reanimator deck that we built. I think it is pretty cool. Maybe leave a like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe even check out my Patreon and support me if you want to, help me keep doing these. But regardless of what you do, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time for some more card game content. I'll see you later.